Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to look at one of the biggest workhorse discs that's out there from Discraft. It's called the Athena. I've got it in 5 different plastics. Let's see how they fly. Let's go. Jeremy from Disc Golf Deals USA. When I think of the Athena, I think of a workhorse disc with numbers 7502. This is a disc that you should be able to rely on doing backhand, forehand, into the wind, not super overstable, but very controllable. And the Athena should be a great one. We've got it here in 5 different plastics. We're gonna test it out, see which one might be right for you. Let's go test it out. All right, so to be honest, I've never actually thrown an Athena. I've heard lots of great things about it. So we're just gonna get started here. So let's go ahead and start with the good old ESP Athena that we got right here. Now, all the Athenas I have are 173 to 175 grams. So there should be a pretty good test to see which one of these is the most stable, the least stable, and kind of something in between. There we go. Nice and straight. Where's that 2 fade? Let's go. Yeah, that is literally the definition of a workhorse 7-speed disc right there. Something that you can rip on nice and flat, get to go straight about 90% of the flight, and then right at the end, give you a nice solid fade. That ESP is solid. Now let's go to one of my favorites, the dyed ones from Discraft. This one looks super sick. Let's see how it flies. Yeah, very similar to the ESP. All right, now we got the big Z Athena. Really love that design right there. Let's see how this puppy flies. Oh, we got a little bit of a turn out of that one. Ooh, I'm liking that. I'm a big fan of same discs in different plastics flying differently. Right there is a little bit of a sign that maybe the big Z one might be a little bit flippier than the other ones, which I'm digging. All right, now we got the Z Swirl. This is a Ledgestone Special Edition one. Yeah, flying a lot like the first couple we threw. Looking good. And then last but not least, we got the signature Dickerson one. I believe this is called the Z Metallic. Let's see how she flies. All right, very solid. Out of those discs, 4 of them are almost exactly the same, whereas that big Z ones might be a slight bit flippy, but those were our first throws, so let's go throw them some more. Now, all these Athenas we have available over at Disc Golf Deals USA, whether it's the Z Metallic, the Big Z, the Z Fly Dye, the Swirl Tour Series, or the ESP one, we got you covered. Now, if there's an Athena that I didn't cover in this video that you dig, let me know, and maybe I'll add it. All right, we did flat. All of them performed about the same. I'd say probably that Big Z was the only one that kind of gave us a little bit of a turn out of it. Now, let's do a little Annheiser. If we put a little Annheiser on this, it should come to flat and then land somewhat close to this white line, unless it's a little more stable or less stable than the others. So let's test it out. Actually, let's start with the Big Z one. This one was giving us a little bit of turn. Let's see if it really is true. There we go, slight Annheiser, getting to flat, coming back to that middle line. That's the perfect flight out of that. Now that Big Z gave us a nice turn, held that for almost the majority of the flight, which is exactly what I'm looking for. This is a very controllable run. Now let's try some of the other ones. Fly Dye. Yeah, very similar. Oh, let's go. You're gonna land right on the line. All right, now the ESP. Oh, I yanked that a little bit. Getting very similar flights out of all 3 of these though. That's promising. Z Swirl. That's gonna be very close to the ESP one. Last but not least, Z Metallic. Well, if I had to sum up all of those flights so far, I'd say consistent. The only difference in the flights is really coming down to user error, but the flights on all these, gotta say, are fantastic. So this might be a reason why a lot of you guys love the Athenas out there, is because you can just grab one and throw it, and you know it's gonna be a consistent flight every single time, whether you're getting an ESP one, Metallic Z, doesn't matter. It's just gonna be super consistent. And that's why these type of discs are called workhorse discs. We've done flat, we've done Annheiser. Now let's do hyzer throws. Now this is gonna be kind of fun. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna aim right about where that pole is to the right, and then we're gonna see if we can dial the angle in and get these things to finish near or maybe even on that line. All right, let's start with one of my favorites so far, Big Z. Oh, this AstroTurf's giving us a little bit extra skip on it. Fly Dye. Very consistent. Really want to land on that line now. All right, let's try something different with the ESP. There we go. Yanked it a little wider. That should be it. Come on. Oh, super close. Z Swirl, let's split the difference. There it is. Oh, curl back. All right, Robot Chicken says he's got it. Oh, that's nowhere close. That was actually kind of fun. All right, now I think it's time to do some forehand shots. Intention here is I'm gonna try to go as flat as I can right down this line. Now, I am human and not a super great forehander, but that's my aim. We're gonna try to go straight down this line as flat as I can, see if there's any difference between these. I don't imagine there is, because they're all pretty consistent. Big Z first. I'd say for my first try, that was pretty darn good. All right, ESP. Oh no. But, hey, does this have a little autocorrect on it? All right, Fly Dye. Not too bad. I'd take that. Z Swirl. There we go, that's more like it. Landing right next to that first one. Dickerson loves to throw forehands. Let's see how this one does. Well, like I said, I'm not the most consistent forehand thrower out there, but these discs, super consistent. No matter how good or bad my release was, they just kind of did their thing, which makes it a great workhorse disc. Everybody needs to have a good workhorse disc in their bag. Well, if you're looking for Athena, I gotta say, honestly, it seems like it doesn't really matter what plastic you throw, because they're just consistent. That's the main thing I would say about all these. This is a consistent disc. All of these plastics just fly consistent. So that's kind of the good news. You can just pick out whichever one you like and looks the best. I gotta say, I'm a big fan of the Fly Dye and the Big Z. I mean, these two just feel fantastic and look fantastic. But like I said, all these fly very similar. Well, I hope this helped you out. If you're looking to get any of these discs or some other discs, head on over to Disc Golf Deals USA. Till I see you next time. Peace out.